Hey man, you still ain't convinced that grid mode is Pro Tools' most powerful editing mode? I pity the fool. I pity the fool. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Wavy Wayne from Wavy.wav, and that's right, you already know by now that this channel is for helping you record and mix better and faster. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and go ahead tune in to every video that I sprinkle on you like Salt Bay. You feel me? Yo, this video is a follow-up to the last video I just dropped, actually teaching y'all about how to actually use Identify Beat to find the tempo of any tracks or music that you may have and lock them to the grid. What I'm going to show you now is why it's so important to do that. I got a few little things that I do pretty much every session, and it's just going to make life so much easier for y'all. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this, man. Why using grid mode and Identify Beat is so important tutorial. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into my Pro Tools. So here we go. I got this little session, same session as last time. All I did was just record a simple little vocal take in here. I want y'all to listen to it real quick, and we're going to see a couple of different ways that we can manipulate it. Super simple. Don't y'all make fun of me. I just made this up. I just was freestyling, so you better not say nothing in the comments about the style of my flow. Okay, here we go. This a hook, this beat is butter. I can edit it and make it stutter. All right, that's it. That's all I did, all right? So first thing first, why is grid mode so powerful? And when you have the beat locked in to the grid and we can use this, right? Basically, let's say I just wanted to have this clip repeat. Well, I'm in grid mode. All you got to do is change your grid value. Right now, I'm in 1 bar. That's pretty much the default for me. That's where I like to start at. And if I need to do any smaller edits, I can do that. But basically, let's just say I wanted to have this hook repeat twice. Boom. Just as easy as selecting that clip or even making a 2-bar selection over that section, hitting Command D, I just copied and pasted that hook. This a hook. This beat is butter. I can edit it and make it stutter. This a hook, this beat is butter. I can edit it and make it stutter. Right, and then maybe let's say I wanted to do something different at the end. Instead of having these same 2 bars repeat, let's go and change our grid value to something smaller now, like a 1/4 note. And maybe this, make it stutter. Maybe that make it stutter. I'm gonna copy that and I'm gonna replace this I can edit it line. All right, let's hear that. Edit it and make it stutter. This a hook. This beat is butter. Make it stutter. Make it stutter. Oh, and then maybe, you know what? Let's make it stutter a few more times. So I'm gonna go up to my grid value, change the note to 16th note, right? And copy that 16th note of the make. Just make a selection of it on grid. Copy, go right before it, paste it, stutter, make it stutter. Easy. The hook, this beat is butter, make it stutter, make it stutter. Yeah, maybe let's go down to a 30-second note and then do it again. Copy that and then paste that right there. Make it stutter. Yeah, okay. Now we got a little something. This a hook, this beat is butter. I can edit it and make it stutter. Oh, maybe put that I can edit it on there. Okay, copy that. And I'm just doing this all on grid. If you see the grid lines, right? These grid lines are what I'm talking about when I say on grid. And Pro Tools is constraining my selection and the placement of my edits to that grid. Butter, I can edit it and make it stutter. This a hook, this beat is butter. Make it stutter, make it stutter. Nice, all right, cool. So that's one powerful way that grid mode can be used for moving sections around musically, doing stutter edits and stuff like that. Another popular technique is flying the hook, meaning after I get this hook here one time how I like it, instead of having to do these edits again or repeat the recording process again, I could just simply copy and paste this hook. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this section by making a selection of those 4 bars, copy. I'm gonna go over to the end where I think I wanna bring it over again and paste it. Now, if my tempo is right and everything is locked up, this should sound perfect. This a hook, this beat is butter. I can edit it and make it stutter. This a hook, this beat is butter. Make it stutter, make it stutter. Okay, that works. Okay, again, none of this has been mixed or anything. Super dry, ain't no effects on here, but you get the idea. Another benefit to actually using this, to having your tempo locked into your session, is that your delay effects are gonna sound perfect right away. You don't have to guess around with setting the delays, right? So I'm simply gonna go ahead and set up a delay. Let's go ahead and do this the fast way. I'm just gonna go right to one of my send selectors, send out to a new track. It's gonna give me the choice to send out to a stereo aux input track. Keep that. We're gonna name it delay. Hit create. I'm gonna insert a delay plugin. Let's go with the standard delay for Pro Tools. What's the name of that thing called? Mod delay. Okay, this is the default delay for Pro Tools. Let's go ahead and link the left and right channels. Let's just hit a quarter note delay on there. Add a little add a little feedback up on there, and then cool. We should be good. Yeah. So let's just turn up this delay send. And my delay should sound on point. This a hook, this a hook, this beat is butter. I can edit it and make it stutter. This a hook, this beat is butter. Make it stutter, make it stutter. I mean, come on. Is this easy or no? Is this easy or no? All right. One last thing I'll show y'all. Let's just, obviously we can move stuff around with our vocals, but I can manipulate the arrangement of this beat too. Like in this last one, you see how those horns come in? This a hook, this a right? Hook. If I don't like that, I can just go up to this beginning part. I don't know why those are separated, but whatever. I can just go up to this beginning part, copy that 4 bars, go down here and paste that so it doesn't have that horn in there. This a hook, this beat is butter. I can edit it and make it stutter. This a hook, this beat is butter. Make it stutter, make it stutter. All right, so before we get out here, I'm gonna show y'all a couple of more tricks with the grid mode, okay? So obviously, whenever you are working in grid mode, all of your selections and clip movements are going to be constrained to the grid. Now, yes, if you need to make smaller increments of movements and edits, you can go up to the grid value and change that grid value, but you can also just hold the command key, or if you're on a PC, it's gonna be the control key, and this will temporarily suspend the grid, allowing you to work in a temporary slip mode. Vice versa too. If you like working in slip mode primarily, but sometimes you want to work in grid mode, like for doing edits, if you hold the command key while you're in slip mode, this will place you in a temporary grid mode so that you can make selections and edits on grid. I hope you found this video helpful. Grid mode is really my favorite mode to edit with. If you catch me in another mode, I'm slipping, man. I'm Wavy Wayne from Wavy.wav. Drop down in the comments to let me know how you have found grid mode to be helpful, and some other ways that we can share and use it amongst each other in our sessions. All right. Yeah, check out the website too, Wavy.wav, where you can cop you a pair of these bad boys. These are the Wavy One Studio isolating headphones, man. I also have some recording and mixing templates available right now that'll help you record and mix better and faster. All right. I'm Wavy Wayne. Be dope.